Let's just.
I was gonna say, now podcasting in my pajama, my house clothes.
You look good.
My little,
stop. That's really not your house clothes.
Well, not sleepy clothes, but like
it's your people. People are over, and this is how
we didn't even start. Hi, welcome.
No, you're wearing the. People came over, and this is just how I dress. At night.
I fixed my hair and my face, but we just got too much going on today to actually get dressed.
You look beautiful. I love that sweater. Where did that come from?
Cindy, my girlfriend Cindy down the street made it. Isn't that awesome?
We could sell the crap out of those, dude. Can we not make some of those?
They're so comfy. I love them. It's like faded out leopard, like bleached out kind of.
Let's do it.
It's really cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Girl.
I like it.
Well, first of all, welcome to the show. We're so excited to be here. We do have a lot going on. I was so excited because the excavator showed up. And we have started, the last house, we built a beautiful paver.
You shared all about it, didn't you?
I did. And we made this beautiful patio amongst the trees in the backyard. And, we have such beautiful oak trees here in the hill country, New Braunfels, Texas. And, out by the barn in the back of our property, there is a beautiful oak tree grove by the chicken coop. And we are putting a beautiful fire pit. And we're also putting the pavers down. So we have all of those people here.
Wait, are we still calling it a chicken coop, or we just turn it into Delilah's playhouse?
Will you stop? It's a chicken coop. It's a chicken coop. And so we have all those guys here. We had the paver stones show up. So we have a truck outside.
Oh, I haven't seen them. They're here?
Yep. I did a jiu-jitsu class with Chief. And then Jeremy showed up. Ponchin Kiki's Jeremy.
Yeah.
He showed up because he's a black belt, so we all trained together. They're in the kitchen talking right now.
Yeah.
Up in the roof above us in the ceiling here in the attic.
If you hear a loud thud, it's because they're working on our ductwork.
Yes, we have a air conditioned guy here working on the air ducts, and we also have to leave.
And then I'm packing because we were supposed to leave tomorrow, but bad weather is coming to Texas. Hopefully not another snowmageddon. Hopefully not that bad.
Last time we were in Florida, and this time, hopefully, if the flight goes out, we will be in the other coast.
But we changed our flight to tonight to make sure that we can get to San Diego.
Which, by the way, going back to the last episode, FYI, I have never missed a gig. In the 20 years of doing stand-up, I have never missed a gig.
I think you've missed one flight.
Yes, but
there was a day mix-up or something.
I still made the gig.
Yeah.
I found a way.
Yeah.
And Daddy used to teach me that. Dad would always say, you want to be at work 30 to 45 minutes before so that you can plan for the in case shit.
Yeah.
In case shit happens, you've got that extra 45 minutes. In case you get a flat tire, you have that extra 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In case traffic's worse than ever and there's a wreck, you have that extra 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've always just followed that rule, right? So we do have a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. I feel good. Food-wise,
you're getting skinny. Someone sent me a message saying that you're disappearing.
I don't know if I'm getting skinny. I think I'm getting sexy, but
no. But I hugged you last night in bed, and I was like, "Where is all of you?"
Is that what we're gonna call it? Is that what we're gonna call it?
Stop.
We're gonna call it hugging.
No, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
We did hug last night. I think even Rick is blushing.
I was gonna say Rick's blushing right now.
I can't. Hey, real life, man, real life. But and I hate to bring it up, and I'm not gonna bring it up in so many words, but I just feel like, man, these past 2 years, coronavirus is obviously still going on, right? And it's just rough, and we've had so much death in our lives. I think all of us, everybody, and it's just been hard, but. We have to wake up every day and be happy for the things that we do have. We really have to be the glass is half full people.
Yeah.
And
what are you going to say? Because I'm already emotional now. I'm going to cry. So get to it.
No. All I'm saying is that if you're out there and you're feeling frustrated, You're feeling down. You're feeling like the cards are stacked against you, and you just can't get out of this hole, which is coronavirus.
Yeah.
On top of regular life, I want you to know that to see the world half full.
Yeah.
And look at the things that you do have.
Sorry, I hear noise up there, and
You
I'm like,
can
oh
hear
my
him
God,
walking
it's
around
about
up
to
there.
fall through our ceiling.
That would, oh my God, we would go viral. We would actually, this podcast would be a hit podcast.
Hey, Will, can you make that happen?
If he falls through, yeah. No, I just want those people out there that are struggling.
Yeah.
Those people that are having a hard time. Those people that things have been tough. I just want them to know that we love you, and that if you took a moment to look at the things that you do have.
Yeah.
And I think that I am also right now reminding myself.
Yeah.
I'm also reminding myself that, hey man, you know what? We have a lot. We have and most importantly, we have our health, right? We have healthy, beautiful children.
Yeah.
We have a healthy, unhealthy marriage, is what we like to call it. But it's been good.
Yeah.
And I just want those people out there to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that we're all coming out of this.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting to a point, we hope, that and it was weird because this week I went to Wisconsin for the very first time.
To the Ho Chunk Casino?
To the Ho Chunk Casino. It was negative 11 degrees. We flew into Madison, Wisconsin.
You actually wore pants and boots through the airport instead of
shorts
and flip-flops?
I usually wear shorts and my trusty old white old man Sperry's. And it was awesome to go to Wisconsin, which, by the way, first time I had ever been there. It sold out almost instantly, and it was so amazing how friendly the human beings in Wisconsin were.
Yeah?
Friendly.
Was this your first time in Wisconsin?
My first time. Yeah, my first time. And everybody was just so kind and so friendly.
Wisconsin Dells.
Everybody was asking about you.
Aww.
Several people whispered in my ear, free form. Several people.
Rick said that's nonsense.
But it was a crazy trip because I was literally gone 26 hours. 26 hours. I got on a plane. We landed in Madison, Wisconsin. By the way, all I did was shower in my hotel room. That's all I did.
Yeah?
Well, yeah,
because there's a casino, so
you
weren't going to stay in your room. Yeah.
And then me and Dwayne hit the craps table. Now, I will say, number one, the casino people were absolutely amazing to me. They treated me great. The rooms were awesome.
Yeah.
The food that they gave us to eat was fantastic. Everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
I had one bad experience. I told you about it.
Yeah.
And it really bummed me out because, I got there about 4 or 5 o'clock. Show's at 7. I had an hour to play craps before the show, right? Before I shut it down and get ready.
Right.
We go to the table. And by the way, we all have to wear masks in the casino. So I have my mask on, right? And I go to the table, and this dealer, a couple of them, were so pompous and so rude.
Yeah.
Rick, there was a female dealer there who had an accent, a very thick accent.
Yeah.
And I don't want to... Her accent was like, $1, give me $1, right? Like $1. Well, all the other dealers would make fun of her to her face. She would say, $1, throw me $1. And then they would be like, hey, throw me $1. Like making fun of her. And now I'm a pretty rough guy.
Yeah.
It's very hard to offend me.
It is. This is true.
Right? But I felt so bad for that girl. Now, remember, because I love to play craps, Kyle, the road manager, had reached out and they said, what would Steve like? And Kyle said he loves to play craps. Can you save him a spot? That way when he gets off stage, he has a spot to play craps. Right?
Oh, because they're also limiting the number of people at the table still.
Well, no, not that, but it's so packed. They only have 2 tables. Can you save him a spot?
Yeah.
Right? So they said yes. I'm at the table during the day, Rick. I'm wearing my mask. And the dealers start to shit on me in front of me.
Not knowing it's you behind the mask.
Dude, they were like, this fucking dick. And this...
Okay, but did they
like,
really use that strong language? Or is this like Steve Trevino?
They're like, who does he think he is? I don't even think he's funny. And he wants us to save him spots? Why are we saving him a spot? Dude, I'm sitting there listening to this.
I wish I would have been there.
And by the way, you know, you always say, like, you always think, man, if I could just be invisible and listen to people, like, what they really say about you, that would be a cool thing. It's not cool. It was so uncomfortable. So finally
How long did you let it go on, though, is what I want to know. Or did you just, like, let them... did you enjoy them digging their very deep hole?
Well, I didn't want them to get in trouble, so I wanted to give them an out. Like, so I dropped my mask and I go, it's me. You're talking about me. In front of me. One of the dudes was like, I knew it was you, man. I knew it was you. I didn't say anything. The pit boss that was sitting at the table goes, just to be clear, I didn't say a word. And then it was just uncomfortable. So I grabbed my chips and I left.
Yeah.
Now, the beautiful part, yes, they saved me 3 spots. I do my show. We do the meet and greet. Everybody in Wisconsin is fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing people. Nice, good, hardworking people. I mean, just the salt of the earth. I mean, Wisconsin's, you know, great people. Of course, they're saving my spot. So it's me and Dwayne. Me and Dwayne take our spot. Kyle gets next to us, right? And we start to play, and we are killing it. We're having fun. We're high-fiving. We're having a blast.
Well, at craps, like, the dealers really make or break it, don't
they?
Yeah,
I mean, the dealers were having a good time.
The vibe.
And, dude, me and Dwayne are throwing chips to the dealers. We're betting for the dealers. Now, there is a bet where it's called Hit 'em All. And if you hit all the small numbers, you win 35-1. If you hit all the tall numbers, you hit 35-1. If you hit all the numbers, you win 35-1, 35-1, and then you win 176-1.
Wow.
Right? So it's Dwayne's turn to roll, and Dwayne tells Matthew, the pit boss, because they're switching, he goes, don't leave. I'm about to hit them all. Right? So I throw $10 on the 35-1, $10 on the 35-1, $10 on the hit them all, 176-1.
Okay.
And then I go, you know what? Because we're going to hit them all, put $2 for the dealers on hit them all. Right? We hit them all. So the dealers from me and Dwayne that night probably made $1,000.
Wow.
$1,000. And it made me so happy because it was a big fuck you to the day staff. Right?
To the other dealers from the day shift.
Like, had you guys just been cool, I'd love to tip. Especially hardworking people.
Yeah.
And that's what made me sad. Here is this woman who showed up to work, who has an accent. And as you know, it is sometimes embarrassing not to speak well.
Yeah.
You speak Spanish a little bit, but you're embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed to speak it because
you don't want to sound
so
bad.
Horribly. Yeah.
Here's this woman that showed up to work with an accent and is dealing with these dickheads. And that's what bothered me the most. Now, just to be clear, the casino was awesome. Yeah. I got treated amazing. The rooms were fantastic. The Wisconsins were amazing.
Dwayne said, like, because we talked about us taking the kids there too, that the pool is really amazing.
Well, okay, so Dell...
It's probably closed.
Well, check it out. So Dell, Wisconsin, little did I know, is the indoor water park capital of the world, pretty much.
No way.
So, like, I drove up, and there was a Great Wolf Lodge. There was several big hotels that had water parks, indoor water parks.
So let's go back, but for more than one day.
Yes. No, I loved it. And the people of Wisconsin were fantastic, and they treated me great at the hotel. So, again, and also, you can't judge an establishment because of 2 bad apples.
2 bad eggs, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 or 3 bad eggs.
Yeah.
You cannot judge the casino. Now, I did mention it on stage. I did the casino boss that I spoke with. I mentioned it to him, and I hope that they make sure that they rectify the situation.
Yeah.
Right. I hope they go to these people and go, hey, we need to watch what we're saying on the floor. We need to treat other employees with respect.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a good look. I hope they fix that.
Yeah.
Right. But that goes with anything. right? And that's why I get so frustrated, because they go, well, all cops are bad. No, we can't judge all cops because of a percentage of bad ones.
Yeah.
I don't agree with anything bad cops do. Of course not. You know, same with any profession.
Yeah.
You're going to run into people who are just bad people.
Yeah.
And you can't judge an entire community upon those bad people.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe that there is good people and there's bad people.
Yeah.
And bad people also have jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, I had that horrible experience at MD Anderson, you know, when my dad was fighting cancer, and the doctors that came in were so pompous and so arrogant.
Yeah.
And so very rude. And I remember like losing it on them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey man, you know, have some compassion, or at least pretend.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, we're not doctors. We don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
How about you help us understand?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, yes, I know what you're saying. I don't think it's necessarily a doctor thing. I think some people are just missing that chip. Some people are not wired that way.
Oh, I think so too. I think you're absolutely right. And I think sometimes people get judged and they just don't have the social skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I have several comedian friends, musician friends who, you know, in the past I've heard people go, that guy's a dick. And then I meet that guy and then I go, oh, I understand why you think he's a dick, but he's not.
Right.
Right? He's not a dick. I understand why you feel that way.
Right.
I understand. And by the way, especially in this business,
right,
you know, sometimes they're not personable.
Well, it could be that someone's not an extrovert, or
right.
They feel really uncomfortable, and that's what you're sensing is their uncomfortableness, not their, or their awkwardness, not necessarily their.
They're not being rude to you. They're not being a dick to you. They just don't have the.
They're not wired that way.
Right. They're not wired that way. You know, and I also try very hard at all the shows when I run into people who love us.
Yeah.
And I try to take a moment to let them know how much I care, right? So that they don't go, well, man, Steve's a dick.
Yeah.
Because I go, wait a minute, these people pay my bills. Yeah. So I'm going to take that extra, even if it's 10 seconds. You know, I remember, you know, when we met Clint Eastwood, and I remember watching Clint work, and I got to shake his hand, and it was so simple. And he came up to me and he shook my hand. He goes, nice to meet you. He said, I'm a very busy man. He's like, I'm really happy to meet you, but I gotta go. I gotta keep moving around. And I just remember that just that moment that he gave me, and the explanation of, hey, I am gonna take the time to shake your hand. However, I'm very, very busy. You understand, and I'm gonna move on. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
That was all I needed.
Yeah.
Right? It was that little something from a legend.
Yeah.
Right? That I can go, hey, I shook Clint Eastwood's hand. And not only that, he took the time
to come over and
to come over and take just a moment to shake my hand.
Yeah.
Right? So
are you going to wear a mask everywhere now and see if people say something about you?
Yes, I'm hoping. But I'm very excited about San Diego. But before that, baseball season has started.
Yes.
And I get to coach. And it was, I hear my baby girl.
Delilah. I was just going to say, yesterday at practice, she was like trying to walk out on the practice field. Dad.
Oh, yeah. And dude, that little girl, because she watches Garrett and I play ball every day. And she's like, ball.
She was taking the balls out of the bucket and
she
throwing
wants the glove, right? She's like, give me the glove. Like, I want to do. So I think that girl's going to be a beast, you know?
Yeah.
And even when we go to jujitsu and I take her, she's like walking on the mat, like,
yeah.
Because she's such she's so brave.
Yeah.
Like, that girl does not.
No idea.
Does not care, man. Like, she's like, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
I want to play. I want to do it. Put me on the slide,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And by the way, we went through so much with Delilah in the beginning.
Yeah.
With the colic, the teething, and man.
Which we're still not out of the clear on the
we're
teething
not
yet.
We're not out of the clear yet.
Chilled out for a little bit.
But it has just becomes the joy of my life right now.
Yeah.
She's so squeezy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a word.
Now she's into you. Before she's
all
like,
about Dad. You just hear her walking around, Dad. And I'm like, I'm up. I'm ready to go, man. I'm all about Dad. Like she is. She's the best. And it's just a really happy time for me with Delilah.
Yeah.
It's just a really sweet, special time. And we're taking the whole family
to San Diego. I'm so excited we're going.
So let's talk about San Diego for a little bit. Here's some.
Okay, wait. Can I get you to agree on the podcast while people are watching? Can we please, now that we have like the whole family and Grandma Dora and Grandpa Art are going with us too, your name is on the side of the building. Can we please get an obnoxious family photo with your name on the building? Thank you.
Yes, I'm very proud of that.
Thank you.
I'm happy to do that. But here are some of the things that I would recommend. I think that we get into habits, right? We get into, as a family, we get into habits that, we vacation here. We go there. Now, Renae and I have had the ability to be in almost every major city in this country.
Yeah.
Now, I am strongly pushing, and I think we're going to do it, to bring the family to Boston. I think Boston gets overlooked. I think Philadelphia gets overlooked.
Okay.
More Boston than Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But there's so much history, and it's so picturesque, and it is so America.
Yeah.
That I think that people really need to take the time. If your kids are...
And do Boston.
Oh my gosh, yes. If your kids are between 7 and 15, go to Boston. You walk Freedom Trail. There's so much American history there, from the Paul Revere House to, and then you go and it's the beginning of America. So there's these streets that are still cobblestoned streets, and everything looks like Europe. And it's just a really great place. So I just want to throw that out there for people that are thinking, well, let's be creative this year. Let's do something different.
Yeah.
Then go to Florida and sit on a beach.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I love.
And I know you love it. But San Diego is one of our favorite places to go.
Yeah.
We get this beautiful condo on Mission Beach. We get to stare at a famous pier. Our patio faces, we get out on the patio. Here's the boardwalk right in front of us.
Yeah.
The beach. And then there's Crystal Pier.
So you get the crazy performers. You get the guy who has like this crazy rope thing that makes massive, huge bubbles. Like you just get all the
bikers
kind of weird
going by,
street acts. Yeah,
right?
It's great people
the
watching.
Skateboarders, We go to Konos. Is that what it's called? Konos?
The breakfast spot.
By the way, if you go to Konos, all you need is, if you're going to feed 5 people, get 2 plates. Yes. 2 plates will
They're
feed
huge. They're breakfast plates.
5 people, maybe 6. They're huge, but we love it because the weather's great. We stay there on the thing, and then there's so much to do for the little ones.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like the theme parks. There's SeaWorld. But their Science Center is amazing. Like their version of Central Park is like Balboa Park. I remember one time I took Garrett to a train museum, like a miniature train museum. There's a whole museum just filled with like different miniature trains.
There's just so much to do, and the people are great, and it's a military town, so you fly in and there's the aircraft carriers, and it's just a cool town. We go see the Padres Stadium.
Yes, Petco Stadium is cool.
Stadium is
There's like
awesome.
a whole little grassy area where you can come to a game and bring your pet.
And then what's it called? Is it Old Mexico?
Old Town.
Old Town
San Diego.
Town San Diego is all. There's just so much to do. And have we taken Mom and Art there?
Yes, your mom and Art have been to San Diego before with us.
We love taking the parents because it really does have a good mix of, here's a bunch of stuff to do for kids, and here's a bunch of stuff to do with parents that are older, right? Mom loves Old Town.
Yeah.
The mission's there.
Yeah.
Mom's all about seeing every church in the world.
Yeah.
So we're so excited. And then the La Jolla Comedy Store is just a historic, really cool venue. We're completely sold out. Everything has completely sold out, which, is, it's just awesome.
Can you add more shows? You can't add more shows, right?
We're going to try.
Yeah.
We're going to see if we can't fit in an old show. And then what's really cool for me, so when I was a door guy in Addison, again, going back to figuring out a way and working hard, okay? One of the things I did, and I'll tell this story very briefly. When I worked the Addison Improv, I wanted to be around comedians. I wanted to talk to comedians. I wanted to do everything I could to be a part of the comedy world, okay? So I started working at the Addison Improv.
Yeah.
I was a door guy. I would wait tables. I would pick up a dishwashing shift. I mean, whatever it took to be there, I would bartend, whatever I could do to be there. Now, I started, trying to figure it out. Now, the first thing I figured out, I go to the general manager and I go, who takes the comics to press? Who takes them in the morning? Who picks them up at the airport? Well, I do, Steve. Well, can I? I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free. I'll go pick them up. I will be there on time. I will make,
Yeah.
So I would go pick up the comedians. Well, now I have an opportunity in a car for 40 minutes talking to comedians that are doing it.
Yeah.
Doing what I want to do.
To pick their brain.
Right? And I would try to be as polite as possible, and I would try to be as accommodating as possible. And I would go, do you want to stop at a store? Do you want to stop at a grocery store? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And all the comedians were different, right? Some comedians straight to the liquor store, right? Some comedians, hey man, I want to get groceries, I want to eat healthy. Some, whatever it was, I would accommodate them. Well, no trash can. Let's put that right there. So I would do whatever I could to be around these comedians for free, right? So I was also, they would have to do radio back in those days in the morning. Like I still
I was going to say, back in the day, you still do.
Well, radio was much more a part of our culture back then, right?
Yeah.
So again, I go to the general manager. I go, who takes these guys to radio? He goes, I do. Well, can I? I'll take them to radio, right? So he was like, all right, Steve, man, but you can't be late. And you can't, this is something very serious. I go, I'm on it.
Yeah.
So there I was, man, in the morning, picking up these comedians, taking them to radio. Well, one of the radio shows was called Mikey in the Morning. It was a rock and roll show. Back then, it was nuts, right? The rock stations had strippers and drunk Fridays. So we would get to the station and they would have a stripper pole and beer, right? And sometimes the comics wouldn't want to leave. Like the comics would show up and pop open a beer or have a whiskey and they'd start drinking on the air and they're strippers on the pole. And I'm sitting there, 20 years old, like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever happened to me. Well, one of those shows was called Mikey in the Morning. Well, that show moved. And we're going to go back to that. Okay. That show moved. So the other thing that I did, so now picking them up at the airport for free. They're not paying me for it. Taking them to the radio in the morning. They're not paying me for it, right? So then I would go, after radio, the phones would blow up back then. People weren't buying online as much back then. They would call in and you'd take their credit card number. So then I would go answer phones. Now I'm answering phones, right? But I would clock in and answer phones. And sometimes I was there so long, man, I go spark up the fryers in the kitchen, make myself some chicken strips, for lunch and just hang out at the comedy club. Then at night, I would work the door, I would work the sound booth, or I'd wait tables, or I'd bartend, right? So I would be there Friday and Saturday. I would be there from picking them up in the morning, about 5:30 in the morning, and I would be there until second show was done. So I would be there from 5:30 in the morning till usually like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Right, on Fridays. Well, I see these opening comedians go up, right? And I go to the management and I go, I want to open. So finally, I get a break.
Yeah.
Right. They let me open because a headliner came into town. His opening act missed the flight, and I'm waiting tables. They're like, go up.
Yeah.
So I go up. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So I would go on stage. So I then found out that if you are the host, opening comedian, you make $50 a show.
Yeah.
All right. So you're looking at Thursday $50, Friday $100, Saturday $100. And then Sunday, $50, right? So that was $300.
Yeah.
Right? So I then go, and I knew that I needed stage time. So then I go to the GM and I say, listen, You pay me $400 a week, and I will continue to work the door. I will continue to pick up the comics at the airport. I will continue to take them to radio. I will continue to answer phones. But you pay me $400 and you let me host at night.
Yeah.
Now, when I waited tables or bartended, I was able to get my tips as well.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would tell them, I will do everything for $400. Well, that's a deal for the club.
Yeah.
Right? The club's like, well, shit, you're willing to
They save the $300 on the opening act.
Yeah, well, they save all the money that they were going to pay me hourly.
Yeah.
Right? And they save the money on the opening. So I was like, hey, I'll do it all. And that is how I was able to get so much stage time.
Yeah.
Because I cut a deal.
Yeah.
Because I was willing to do all this other stuff for free just so that I could be on stage.
Yeah.
And, when people ask me, hey, your stand-up career, I always tell them I took a very blue-collar approach to stand-up.
Yeah.
I was going to work harder than everybody else. That's what and I still do that. I still have that. I'm going to work. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add those shows. I'm going to do that extra press. I'm going to sit here with my beautiful wife and do a podcast and mention Aztec Chevrolet because we don't get paid. I completely forgot. Like right now, I'm like, man, we're 30 minutes in and I haven't even mentioned.
I know Rick's not giving us notes because you were so gung ho on the freeform. Rick's not leaving us notes anymore.
Oh, so now Rick's on strike? Rick has gone on strike. He's like, well, fuck you guys. Do your thing.
We did the poll on your stories after last week, and if freeform, at least on your stories, blew it out of the water.
Well, again, I just think...
Rick was going to say something.
Go ahead, Rick.
No, I got nothing to say.
Rick's just so bummed about it.
No, I still think we should do interviews, and I still think that we should do a fight your fight. I like doing it.
Yeah. I do too. It's fun.
I just think that, I think that, again, what makes us attractive is that we come up here and we're honest about our lives.
Yeah.
And we're honest.
I did see the one comment on YouTube. I don't read a lot of the comments, but because I was curious if people were choosing freeform or not, I did see the one woman who's I can't remember her handle, but she said, I interrupt you all the time and it drives her nuts. And then she's shouting at the TV every time I interrupt you for me to shut up.
And I noticed, dude, you're letting me tell my story today and you weren't interrupting.
Yes, even though I've heard it over and over and over again, because I was thinking of that woman yelling at the TV screen at me.
See, this podcast, everybody should do a podcast with their wife because we are growing. We are growing as people. All because of the therapy that we are having right here in the deal. Now, another thing, and I do want you to interrupt or chime in.
Okay.
It is so cool. And I think the reason that La Jolla is so very special to us is because we all grew up together.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because, Mike Vinn, who is a amazing comic who I've had on the road with me, fell in love with his wife at the La Jolla Comedy Store. We saw it happen. We saw him get engaged there. Jose and Ryan, the managers of the Comedy Store, we were all pretty much the same age.
Yeah.
And we were all friends and we were all coming up together. So when we go to the Comedy Store in La Jolla,
I miss them so much. Because of COVID, we haven't been since
3 years.
Well before COVID.
3 years.
Because you hadn't been in a long time. I think you were supposed to go or something, but we hadn't been in a long time. So I feel like there's a little human that we haven't seen, in so long, who's going to look completely different.
Oh my gosh, dude, Liam's going to be like a full kid.
That makes me a little sad, and I miss them. I'm so excited to have a bottle of wine with them, to share a bottle of wine with them.
And that's what is so... It's so very different, now that we're moving to theaters, right? It's like, man, this might be the last weekend I do at the La Jolla Comedy Store because, we're moving to doing the theaters just so that we could be more effective with our time and it just bums me out because it's like...
I didn't think about that too.
But chapters in life.
Yeah.
Right? You go through chapters in life where it's like, man, I have all these high school friends, right? And I've developed these relationships with people in high school. And then, man, you go to college.
Yeah.
And now you're making relationships in college. And, then I didn't go to college, but I partied a lot during those college days. But I'm just saying that there's
my college friends. You're speaking of my college friends.
There's these progressions in life. I mean, I think about my life, when I was living in LA, and every single day of my life was improv, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store. Improv, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And you're standing in the parking lot, or you're standing out front, or you're at the bar hanging out with these comedians that are all at the same level, all trying to make it.
Yeah.
From the Tom Segura's to the Burt Kreischers to the Joe Coys to the Eliza Schlesingers and Whitney Cummings and Chris D'Elia's, and I mean all of us, man. Brett Ernst, and I don't want to leave anybody out because they're all my friends and I love them. We hung out every day.
Yeah.
Every day I was with those people.
Yeah.
In LA, trying to make it, trying to get it going. Now, man, I don't. Somebody shared with me the other day when we did the Orange County, Real Housewives of Orange County, and it was me, Slade, Gretchen, you, Tom Segura, Christina Pazinski, and we were just, me and Tom and Christina Pazinski, we were just starting to headline, and we're together, and I honestly can't tell you the last time I saw Tom Segura.
Yeah.
And I was with that guy every day.
Yeah.
I was with Burt Kreischer every day. I was with Joe Coy you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we're all out there doing our thing.
Yeah.
And it's really hard now to cross paths. And it just, and that was another stage in my career, in my life. And, and it is really cool to see I did Burt Kreischer's podcast, and you go to his home and you see how successful he's become, and you see these children that he's raising.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, dude, none of us had kids, man. None of us had wives.
Yeah.
We were just trying to make it in stand up. And now for me, it's like, well, all those relationships I built at the clubs, all the people I look forward to seeing, now it's off to theaters.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's tough. Especially for me, because I'm a very...
I was just thinking when you said that, it made me a little sad because, like you said, we have so many personal relationships at several of the clubs, real friends,
Yep.
with management and people who work at the clubs. And
Steffi's one.
That's what I mean. I was thinking about Stephanie.
Oh my gosh!
Stephanie too. As I said that, I was thinking about Stephanie and
Chicago.
There's several clubs, but now the theaters, it's a whole staff of people. You wouldn't possibly meet or know everyone, and then it's
you're only there for a day, right?
Yeah, you're in and you're out, and so it is going to be different.
It's very impersonal. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited. Much like New York, much like the green room hang is fun.
Yeah.
Right. When New York, for example. Jose, our accountant.
Yeah.
We're friends with him. Him and his wife Nancy. They came to New York. We're all in the green room. Chad Edwards and his wife.
Yeah.
Candy and her husband.
There's a big old room.
There's
they
a big
got
old
food
room.
And drinks laid out.
And we're sitting around. We're bullshitting.
There's the mirrors with the lights so I can fix my face.
Yeah. No. So there's hopefully then that Dan showed up. Dan and Chewy, but our other Dan showed up, and we were able to hang out after the show. And then afterwards, we all hit a bar and got to chop it up together.
Yeah.
But even Vegas, we were just talking about that, me and you, when we would go to Vegas before, and we would work Brad Garrett's Comedy Club, or we would work. Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. Mm-hmm. We're there for a week, and we'd hang out with our couples, our friends, and there was 6 couples. In the beginning, it was 4 of us.
Yeah.
It was 4 couples, and then it's grown and it's gotten bigger. And in this last time we did Vegas, did we have a great time?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was it awesome? Yes. To do a theater, was it great? Yes.
Yeah.
but it just was, we didn't get the personal.
Well, it's the logistics of it all. Like, anytime you have a group larger than 12 people, getting a table anywhere is a whole thing, so everything has to be planned, and you want to make sure you're not leaving anyone out, and like you become like an event coordinator,
That's what was so cool about, celebrating Rick's birthday we had our own private room.
Yeah.
And it really was like a hang. Wouldn't you agree, Rick? It was like yes, we ate dinner, but we all just got to hang.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. And that, first of all, the fact that everyone was there and stuff, it was so cool.
It was so cool. And the fact that, our dinner was probably...
It was amazing food, but we just had this like long
But it was like
dinner.
a 3-hour dinner.
Yeah. Longer, I think, but you and I are so used to like eating on the run.
We hung out. We everybody would walk and get to know each other, and we talked a little business. We laughed. We just had a great time, but before I couldn't make a phone call and be like, I need the whole room, And now they're like, Steve Trevino would like to have a room. Mr. Trevino, we'll give you a
He'd
room.
like to have a craps table.
Yeah, he'd like to have a craps table, which, by the way, Rick owes me. So Rick, here's what I told Renae. I think we all need, very small group. Maybe it's just me, you, Gigi, and Renae, and we go to Vegas for a Sunday, Monday. And it's not the big party. It's not the circus. He's very quiet.
He's very quiet.
No, I have Gigi staring at me, so keep going.
Yeah. I heard Gigi's laughing in the back. It's really hard for Steve to say not the big circus, Rick.
No, just... Yeah. But I will say, there's such amazing shows in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I loved going to a concert and watching a show. I would love to...
We've still never seen Absinthe, and I've heard amazing things about that show.
That's what I mean. We go, we invite Rick and Gigi. Mm-hmm. We go to watch a nice show. We eat a nice dinner. Which, by the way, I still think... I miss Capo's. We didn't get to go to Capo's.
Yeah.
But I still think Joe's is the best restaurant in Vegas.
The food's amazing, but Capo's has such a vibe.
Capo's has such a great vibe. But, Renae and I were talking about that, Rick, where... maybe we just go and enjoy all that it is Vegas without the circus.
Yeah.
Without having to set a reservation for 20.
And just like a quick in and out. I don't want to be there too long.
Oh, I'm telling you, we leave Sunday morning.
Yeah.
We do Sunday night. We do Monday night. We're back Tuesday.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
I just think just 2 days.
Mm-hmm. It's enough time to buy a nice handbag. It's good.
Yep. And the spring. I already know the move, dude. And we go at the end of spring before summer.
Yeah, before there's like the pool madness.
Yep. And we go and enjoy. So I think we should make that a plan.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Rick.
We're in.
I'm also very excited because our friends at Old Salt Coffee are going to make me a challenge coin.
I heard you talking about this. So what is this? How does it work? What's the deal? Do you know?
So again, I am trying to get people to get on Old Salt Coffee, buy Old Salt Coffee so that every bag they buy, I'm able to donate $1 to veterans.
Yes. Okay.
That is my goal.
Yeah.
And my goal is 1,000 people getting a subscription. Mm-hmm. So I talked to Old Salt Coffee and I said, if I'm on location, I'm on stage.
Uh-huh.
What can we offer people personal
to come on board and support?
To come on board and get that subscription, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to get challenge coins, right, that are specifically for me.
Okay.
And Old Salt Coffee.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to number them 0 to 1,000 so that when I'm on location, I can go, hey, if you show me that you have subscribed to Old Salt Coffee, I will give you this really cool keepsake challenge coin. So we're designing it right now, and I'm very excited about it.
That's
now.
Cool.
My fear is that now people are going to go, well, I'm not going to do it right now. I want my challenge coin, right? But maybe we can do another challenge coin that is internet based.
Yeah.
Right. If we talk about it on the podcast, you sign up, Trevino 10, you're donating $1, then we mail you with that first bag of coffee Their challenge coin.
I like that. I like it.
And just to give people a little bit of an incentive, for them to take something really special home that's from me. I get challenge coins all the time, and they're special to me.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Yeah.
And me and Garrett have our collection of them. I bring them to Garrett, and Garrett just really, really loves them.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be something cool. And speaking of Garrett, it was so very cool. I don't know what happened. I got to talk to the teacher. I got to talk to Miss O.
Uh-huh.
Apparently they talked about kids that have heart issues.
Yeah. They're fundraising money for something. And I guess the more money you raise, there's prizes, right? They try and make it enticing for the kids. Well, Garrett came home and he's like, Mom, I got to get this app on my tablet. And
I want to raise money for kids.
Yes.
He goes, Dad, please. He goes, I don't care. He goes, I don't care about the prizes.
He kept telling me.
He goes, we have to help these kids.
Yeah.
So
and he told me, he goes, Mom, can you imagine a kid with a heart defect? It was really sweet.
It was very really sweet. So I want to encourage that thought from Garrett.
We got to get behind it. I downloaded the app for him this morning and I started to log in, and then we got to the part where it started asking for credit card information. It was time to go to school, so I didn't have time to do it.
So it is just really cool to see Garrett come to us and say, I need to get involved, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, Dad, I know you love veterans.
Oh.
He goes, but I love kids and they're like me. So I want to do it. So we need to help Garrett get involved, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it's something that we could put him on the podcast and let him do his little
would
pitch.
Be cute. Uh-huh.
And I hope that here on this podcast that we're gathering a community of humans that care like we care.
Yeah.
Right. I hope we're gathering people that go, you know what, Steve, man, I'm on board with what you guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's what's been really special about this new set that I'm doing, which, by the way, people are asking, if I go watch you again, is it new material? It's always new material. It's always growing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you might not hear a story that you hadn't heard before, because writing stand-up is hard.
Yeah.
But there is always new stuff. It is always growing and evolving and changing. So, please come out to the shows. Now, there's several comedians that I know that they've been doing the same act verbatim forever.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard to write an act. But ours is always growing and changing. And
you never write anything down, so it's never... every show, even if you go to the early show versus the late show, is going to be different. And you feed off the audience and kind of their reactions, too.
Well, and sometimes I'm like, okay, what story do I want to tell, right? Do I want to tell this story? Do I want to tell that story? And we are going to call this new tour Steve Trevino Family First.
It's been decided, yeah.
That's what I want to call it. I love it. Because we are talking about, I had talked about...
You said Raising Trevinos, which I really liked that too.
I liked Raising Trevinos, but I think Family First is... Because, man, I love when people come up to us after the shows and they go, man, I love your values. And it's not... I don't walk on stage to go, ooh, I'm going to put my values out there.
Oh, yeah, because you throw F-bombs.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. All I'm doing is talking about where I am in my life right now.
Yeah.
And the things that I care about. And the things I care about right now are my marriage, my family, raising these kids, trying to do the best that we can. So that's what I'm talking about on stage, right? So, like I said, if you come out, and believe me, we love it when you guys come out and say, man, this is the 5th time we've seen you. For those of you that are doing that for us, thank you so much.
We had a couple of those in New York too. And in Ontario, we talked about this. That's been really, really cool. That's been really cool.
So we love you guys. This podcast came uninterrupted.
Wait, okay. But before we go, let's tell people where you are. You're going to Michigan. Have you ever been to Michigan either?
I'm so nervous. We're doing Grand Rapids for 2 days, and then we're doing Holland, Michigan.
Yep.
And I have no idea where Holland, Michigan is. I don't even know if there's a casino nearby. But we are going to the Grand Rapids.
West Palm Beach is coming up.
Well, okay, so it's this week San Diego, next week Grand Rapids, and Holland, Michigan.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not off I'm doing Hobbs Hot Rod Run.
Yes.
Down in Corpus Christi,
to raise
Texas,
money for Driscoll.
raise money for Driscoll Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. And then one of my favorite weeks of all the year is Helicopters for Heroes.
Yeah.
At the end of the month. And then we go to South Florida.
West Palm Beach.
Well, I don't know if it's South Florida or Central Florida, but we're doing West Palm Beach. That's one of my favorite towns.
Then you go to Gold Strike. Another casino.
Yes,
Tunica,
we're doing another casino
right?
in Tunica. And then hopefully I'll get to go visit because it's not too far from Anthony over at Loretta Lynn's ranch. So we're going to do Tunica,
and
Mississippi.
Then Brea, Greensboro, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina.
So those are the ones I'm worried about. The Carolinas. I have not been there.
Never been to the Carolinas.
We're putting it out there. People are asking for us. You know, we had gotten in a habit of only doing the markets that we knew we were able to sell tickets.
But I've heard from fans. We have good fans out there
Family.
who are like, yes, family. Sweeney's are coming. They're celebrating their birthday out there. They're super excited about it. So hopefully they will help us all spread the word.
Please. So we love you guys. Thank you so much. And remember that, man, look at the positive. I am Steve Trevino.
And I am Captain Evil.
You look beautiful. I love you.